Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Could I please ask everyone to stand for the presentation of the colors? Ladies and gentlemen, will you please join with me in honoring our great nation to the pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Class 134? Now for welcoming remarks, our president of our Golden West College, Wes Bryant.
You may be seated. It seems only fitting today that we begin with a moment of silence for those that are being devastated, threatened, and or helping in this tragedy that's hitting our state right now. And now I'd like to welcome you to the 2007 Courtyard of Honor ceremony. Established in 1991 as part of the college's 25th anniversary celebration, the Courtyard of Honor, today moved inside, is an opportunity for the campus community to honor our outstanding alumni and generous donors. This year we recognize 4 exceptional alumni, 6 Pillars of Support recipients, and 13 Golden Society members, along with the new names on our donor wall, which are listed in your program. This time I'd like to recognize the following guests. Mary Hornbuckle, Trustee, Coast Community College District. Jim Marino, probably en route. Armando Ruiz, both are trustees for the Coast Community College District. Dr. Ken Iglesias, Chancellor, Coast Community College District. Dr. Joe Quarles, Vice Chancellor, Coast Community College District. Dr. Larry Toy, President Emeritus, Foundation for the California Community Colleges. Dr. Ed Fawcett, Chairman, Coast Community College District Foundation. Nora Morrison, Golden West College Foundation. Pat Meredith, Golden West College Foundation. Joanne Bum, Patrons President. Tani Lee, Associated Student President, who's also the 2006-2007 Homecoming Queen. Martha Parham, District Director of Public Affairs, Marketing, and Governmental Relations. Norma Bandel Gibbs, former mayor of both Seal Beach and then Huntington Beach, and the first women mayor in both of those cities. Also occasionally a part-time instructor at Golden West College. We would also like to have the Associated Student Council officers as well as homecoming court and homecoming candidates please stand and be recognized. And after all, today is about those kinds of students. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Monty Perez, Vice President of Student Services.
Thank you, Wes. This year we have 4 honored Alumni Pillar of Achievement recipients. To be considered a candidate for the Alumni Pillar of Achievement Award, you must have taken at least 30 units at Golden West College. These units must have been earned a minimum of 10 years ago, and the candidate must have attained notable achievement and recognition in his or her field of endeavor. Your program has the information on each of this year's outstanding alumni recipients. Our first alumni, nominated by John Wardis, a faculty emeritus at Golden West College, is Ron Barnes. Ron is the Executive Director of the Norris Foundation and the CEO of KTN Enterprise. Please welcome with applause Ron Barnes.
Thank you, Dr. Perez, and I'd like to thank all of you for coming today. This is a very important day for me, and I also want to recognize the other alumni who are being honored today. It's hard for me to believe that it has now been just over 35 years since I started at Golden West College. Maybe I should say it has been that long since Golden West gave me a second chance. To clarify that, I didn't take a strong interest in academics while in high school. And as my 12th grade English teacher, Miss Kathleen Cray, who's with us today, she could tell you that when she called up each of the seniors in her class and asked them about their future plans, I told her I was going to be a professional pool player. Now, believe it or not, at age 18, that really was my goal in life. For some reason, I enjoyed hanging around pool halls a lot more than going to school. Upon graduation, I took off across the country with a good friend, and by the time we made it to Fairbanks, Alaska, we were close to broke and were getting very homesick. We made it back in my VW Bug, and after being home for a week, I realized I needed something other than pool. The year was 1969, and there was one organization that didn't pay so well and was easy to get into. So easy, in fact, they were taking young men that didn't want to go. So it wasn't difficult for me to join the Army. After going through basic training at Fort Ord and learning the Army's supply system at Fort Lee, Virginia, most of my platoon was sent to Vietnam. I was one of the lucky few that were sent to South Korea, and for the next 25 months I had one of the most important experiences of my life. Although it seemed like I was in the Army for 100 years, it was really only 2 years, 6 months, 12 days, and 11 hours. I was home again and was given a second chance by Golden West College. I of course started with some very basic courses, one of which was known as Bonehead English. However, it didn't matter whether it was Bonehead English, Sociology 101, or Basic Business Administration. Virtually every one of my professors at Golden West made their students' success their #1 priority. I realized how important college would be to me in the future. As the semesters went by, I knew my interest was in business, and after 2 semesters of accounting with a fantastic professor, I decided this was going to be my major. Excuse me. When I went to visit a counselor at Golden West regarding transferring, he advised me that I should seriously consider going to the University of Southern California. I knew it would be more difficult to come up. I knew it would be more than difficult to come up with the $3,000 per year tuition. But with the GI Bill, some state scholarships, and federal loans, I realized I would be able to pay the tuition and survive. I applied to only one school, USC, and because of Golden West College, I was admitted to a university that I couldn't even have dreamed of 5 years earlier. When I arrived at USC, I soon found out that Golden West had more than prepared me. As I started taking advanced classes, I realized more than once that the basic classes taken at Golden West had better prepared me than some similar classes taken by students who had started as freshmen at USC. My time at USC was of course very special, and thanks to Golden West, I graduated from USC magna cum laude less than 2 years after I started. And I left the university with a good job in public accounting. Hard work and luck have led me to my position today. However, none of it could have ever happened without the 2 years I spent at Golden West. I want to thank every single one of my professors, the counselors who pointed me in the right direction, and I have to say thanks to everyone at Golden West for giving me a second chance. Now, to be given recognition as an alumni, I realize how very fortunate I am. And I thank Bob Maltby for bringing my name to the attention of John Wirtis and Margie Button, who recommended me for this special award. Just an aside, Bob and I worked together 40 years ago for $1.25. Remember, Bob? I very much thank John and Margie for all they did to help me and other alumni being honored today to receive the Golden West Alumni Pillar of Achievement for 2007. Finally, I want to say thanks to some very important people who came today to support me. In addition to Bob, his wife Fran, and Mrs. Cray, they are my two of my brothers and my sister-in-law, Dale and Jeff and Elaine, my cousin and her husband, Sharon and Dawn, a good friend, Frank Potterica, and a good friend and client who came all the way from New Mexico, Susan Bridge. Two of the best co-workers in the world who have stuck with me a combined 31 years, Walt and Becky. The past and present chairs and leaders of the Norris Foundation, Lisa Hansen, Harlene Norris, and Lisa's husband, Steve Hansen. Last but not least, my wife Laura, who has stuck with me during good times and bad for the last 27 years. I would never have made it without you, dear. I thank everyone here today for awarding me this honor. Most important of all, I thank you, Golden West College.
Okay, we thank you and your family, Ron. Our next alumni, nominated by her husband, Jerry Bent, is Pauline Chavez Bent. Pauline is a published writer and an independent historian. Pauline Chavez Bent, please.
So when I first heard about this award from Marge Bunton, I thought, what am I going to wear? It's great to be here today with these three guys, Mr. Barnes, Mr. Jordan, and Mr. Parsons, as we are being honored by this college. I began my studies here at Golden West after my daughter transferred to Long Beach State, and she pursued a degree in English literature. She now lives in New Orleans. As an older student, I felt very comfortable here because I like to be around young people. It was a very rewarding experience for me. Most of my classes, especially those that required extensive reading and research, were my favorite. I wish I could say that about algebra. I'll never forget the struggle, and even today, I have had nightmares about it. I cannot believe that I finally passed it with a C after 2 tries. And I'll never forget the patience of my young tutor. He was so good, and he would say to me, Mrs. Bent, I don't understand why you don't understand. Of course, then I became interested in communications and decided to take a public speaking class. Mr. Roger Moran was a great instructor. He had a lot of patience, required a lot of patience on his part, and a lot of practice on our part. After I got my degree, I began researching my family roots in New Mexico. And soon I decided that I could help others by doing presentations and lectures about the history of our people who came to find New Mexico in 1598. That was a few years before the Mayflower ever showed up on the East Coast. I have been invited to do a lot of lectures, but 2 of them are very clear in my mind. Once I got a call from the steering committee to find a speaker for a conference in San Antonio, Texas. It was Women in Public Health. And of course I accepted. I was a keynote speaker. And that is where I met Dr. Antonia Novello, who was at that time the Surgeon General of the United States. And she even invited me to breakfast. So it was kind of nice. The other speaking event was in Santa Fe in 1997. I was invited to present a paper along with 18 other presenters on the 400th anniversary of the founding of the Catholic Church in New Mexico. The Archdiocese of Santa Fe and LPD Press published a book that contained all our papers in a book titled Seeds of Struggle, Harvest of Faith. The skills that I learned at Golden West College were invaluable to me, and they still are, because I am continuing to research, to help people with their research that want to do research in New Mexico. And I host a study group in my home, and we call ourselves Los Hidalgos de Nuevo Mexico. So again, I want to thank the staff of Golden West College and those that helped to keep this little old lady off the streets.
I just am invited to look at my New Mexican roots. So I will be there at Los Hidalgos de Nuevo Mexico. Okay. Thank you, Pauline. Our next alumni nominated by Ron Lowerberg, our Dean of Golden West College's Criminal Justice Training Center, is Scott Jordan, Chief of Police for the City of Tustin. Please welcome Scott.
It's really an honor for me to be here today, and frankly, I don't think I'm deserving. But I would like to thank Dean Lowenberg for nominating me, and also for my Tustin police family, who I think did the write-up to support me, so thank you very much. My parents are here, and I do want to talk a second about honor, but I cannot talk about honor without first recognizing my parents, because it all started with them, so thank you, Mom and Dad. I didn't begin the police academy in the fall of 1978 with really the idea of being a 30-year police officer. I really wanted to be an attorney. I thought, you know, being a police officer would give me good experience, it's a good job, and would basically help me finance myself through law school. But in the academy, on day one, I learned about code of ethics. And during the course of the academy, I learned about honor, about integrity, about character, about those important ingredients to be a successful police officer. And shortly after entering law enforcement, graduating from the academy, they came into play. Honor, integrity, character. And after I finished my bachelor's degree and I had a decision to make, am I going to go on for a master's degree or I'm going to go to law school and follow that dream of being an attorney, I thought, honor, integrity, ethics, frankly, the two didn't go together. So I decided to stay here and be a police officer. And frankly, it's been a very, very rewarding career. I've had the chance to work for 2 different agencies, and I'm most proud of the ability and the opportunity to have worked in the underprivileged neighborhoods, those who really need police services the most. With some creative ideas and working with some wonderful police officers, we've made change in those neighborhoods. We've improved the quality of life. We've solved the real problems. Instead of just addressing crime, we solved the real problems in the neighborhood. We did reduce crime, but it was so nice to see people coming out of their houses when they used to not, to walk in the evening. It was so nice to see the children who couldn't play in the neighborhoods come out because we built parks for them to play in the parks. It was so nice to see St. Joseph's put a clinic, provide health care to those who normally would not get health care. And those are the things that, from the day I started the academy, that I wanted to have an impact on. And those are the things that I'm most proud of today. It's still an honor for me to wear this badge. When I do have bad days, you know, I think about the day, December of 1978. I was still only 20 years old. They couldn't hire me yet as a police officer. But my parents pinned on my badge. And when I have those bad days, I remember how proud I was that day, and it gets me through until the next day. But as far as the academy today, they have adopted the six characters of
the 6 pillars of character from the Josephson Institute. Those are trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. And when I attend the graduations of the new recruits, and Dean Lowenberg talks about what the academy is all about, they talk about those words. Now, there are also other competing academies. They're good academies, and those who graduate are good recruits. But when I attend those graduations, they talk about stress, and the last high-stress police academy in the nation. And as citizens, I would ask you, if you had a choice, if you have a police officer that's going to come to the door because you need help, do you want a police officer who has graduated and is most proud of the high-stress academy, or do you want a police officer who has graduated based on the 6 pillars of character? I know, for one, I would want the 6 pillars of character. So I want to congratulate the staff at Golden West, because this is the finest police academy in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Our last alumni nominated by Bernie Gilpin, Golden West College physics professor, is Dr. Tom Parsons. Tom is a research geophysicist at the United States Geological Survey and a published author. Please welcome Tom Parsons.
Well, it's a real honor to be here today, especially amongst such distinguished other recipients. You know, it's great to be recognized, but what I think I'm happy about, most happy about being here, is an opportunity to come back and say thank you. I left 22 years ago, and I really didn't understand at that time. I was obviously much younger and hadn't been in a lot of other colleges, and I didn't really understand what gifts were given to me by Golden West until I transferred on to UCLA. Yeah, and what I was given was, and its themes you've heard already today, was a shot at redemption and a shot at advancement. When I got out of high school, I had a sub 2.5 GPA and something like 80 unexplained absences in my senior year. I wasn't really somebody the University of California wanted to talk to anyway, that's for sure. But Golden West was willing to take me graciously, and I came to campus and started taking some classes, and I met Bernie Gilpin, who's a geophysicist by training, and I got excited about the idea of geophysics, and I started, Golden West gave me that opportunity to take the courses that I could learn what I should have known coming out of high school, but didn't. And that was a real shot at redemption that I don't think anywhere else, other than the community college system, would have offered me. And then, over time, because of the flexible schedule, I was working full-time, but I was able to fill in all the courses to get the lower division requirements to transfer on to UCLA. And I brought with me 3 other alumni from Golden West as well, John Dunham and Paul Smith there in the back row. And basically, the story I'm telling you could apply equally to them. We all followed that very similar path. And John and I both found ourselves in the physics department at UCLA as juniors, just first day on campus, didn't know our way around. Everybody else there was brilliant. You could say a lot about that department, but warm and fuzzy and welcoming isn't much to describe. By contrast, the teaching that I received here at Golden West, and we got there in our first day in mechanics, which is sort of the class they used to weed out the weak. And we had this guy, we called him Laughing Boy. We were talking about that today. We can't remember what his actual name was. I mean, he was borderline sadistic. He would announce to us, he'd hand out these quizzes and say, I don't think any of you are going to get this. And you think, well, maybe this is reverse psychology, but then he'd start giggling to himself as he passed out. He was clearly enjoying himself. And the first couple I took, I got F's on, and I was, frankly, terrified. I wasn't going to be able to cut it there. We all were, those of us that transferred. But a funny thing happened over that quarter, that those F's turned into A's. And by the end of that quarter, we found ourselves drifting up to the top of that class. And it turned out we were better prepared. We heard that already once today. than most of those kids that were smarter than us, plainly, but we had a kind of gut level understanding of the topics that we got from teachers who really cared enough to give us that. And you know, I've been now associated with a couple of different universities and been a visiting faculty, and I've never encountered the kind of teaching anywhere else than you see here, because people here that are teaching are here because they're good at it and they're dedicated to it, and it's their first love, and it really shows. And so I feel nothing but gratitude to Golden West, and I'm really happy to be able to come back here today and express the thanks I should have been able to express back then but didn't know better. So I think anyone who is associated with this, with Golden West, should feel a great deal of pride. Thank you very much.
There you have it, with ongoing accomplishments by our 4 awardees today, with the Norris Foundation making differences in people's lives, the research and authorship of Pauline Chavez Bent, Chief of Police, Changing Neighborhoods, and finally our own geophysicist along with the others. This is a very happy moment for us at Golden West. So let's give again one more applause to our I would now like to introduce Dr. Lois Miller, our Vice President of Instruction.
Thank you, Monty. This is a special afternoon when Golden West College has the opportunity to honor and show our appreciation to both our donors and our exemplary alumni. This year we're honored to be inducting 6 pillars of support into our Courtyard of Honor. This category represents individuals or businesses that have given over $25,000 to Golden West College. We have on campus 52 pillars. The list of pillars and their locations can be found in your program. So as we induct our 6 into this year's categories, our first 2007 pillar of support is the American Legion Auxiliary Unit number 327. Pillars located in the Health Sciences building area, and accepting the award is the Legion President, Dolores Young. Yes.
I promise you it won't be very long. I'm very proud to represent our auxiliary, and our auxiliary is Unit 327 in Seal Beach, California, and Leisure World. And we have a large auxiliary. We have over 100 members. And so I'm so proud. And this is, I'm going on my 2nd year as president. And, but our American Legion has been doing this for 20 years of giving support to Golden West College. We started out with doing it just for the nurses, and now we've added three scholarships for the vocational students also. We have given $27,650 so far, and we plan to give $2,500 for this year. And I know it's always a pleasure to come and give out the awards when you have it in your amphitheater. Last year I was sick, and so I had one of my fellow ladies give it, Helen Brown, but today she is sick, so she's not able to come. And I have a couple of our American Legion ladies here too. And how we get the money to give to the students, we do it every year. We have a fundraiser in Leisure Room. We have a lunch, real nice lunch that's catered. Then we have a fashion show. And then the fashion show, the ladies themselves, our auxiliary ladies, are the ones that are models. And we have about 8 models, and they change clothes like probably 3 times. And they have a lot of fun doing it. And they're not models, they're just ordinary people, and they get up on the stage and then come down and show the clothes. But the most fun also is that while they're changing clothes, we give out prizes. And we have a drawing, and we have everyone's ticket in different tables, I mean, each table has a number, and then we draw out of each bag for each table. Last year we had over 100 gifts to give out. So we really had to do fast because the girls were faster changing than we were giving out presents. And then we also had 3 really beautiful baskets that were raffled off from the past president Parley. And then we gave out those too. And last year we were able to have Cookie Lee jewelry, and one of the baskets was from her. And it was worth over $50. So this is what we do every year. We generally do it in March, and we have a lot of fun doing it. And everyone's welcome to come. We generally have anywhere from 250 to 300 people to come. Half the money goes to the scholarship, the other half pays for the dinner, the lunch. And so this is what we do every year, and it's a lot of fun. Our auxiliary is, we try to do all kinds of things for the veterans and their families. And then we also expand out to the community for people in need. And this is one thing that we really enjoy, doing it for the students at Golden West, because my 2 daughters went here, my 2 grandchildren went here. I unfortunately didn't because I had a daycare, and I was taking care of some of the nurses' students' children that came to my house while they came here. And so it is a well-deserved cause, to give to the students. Thank you.
Thank you, Dolores, and your auxiliary for your 20-plus years of giving to our college, and our nurses, and now our career students. We really appreciate it. Our second pillar of support is the Boeing Company. The Boeing takes its commitment to being a good corporate citizen very seriously. They seek to improve the quality of life in the communities where they live and work as a key element to remain viable and vital in today's global marketplace. Unfortunately, Boeing was not able to send a representative to accept their pillar, but the pillar is out, and you can see it out on campus if you care to go out there. Our third pillar of support is honoring Glenda Blackburn and John Higgs. This pillar is located on the walkway to the courtyard, and that walkway is actually, if you're coming in off of Edinger side, coming up towards admissions and records, you'll see it right there on your left-hand side. Glenda is a graduate of Golden West College, and after receiving her Bachelor of Arts, she returned to Golden West College as the executive director of the foundation. During her 8-year tenure, Glenda established the Courtyard of Honor recognition ceremony. Glenda and John were disappointed that they are not able to be here today either. Our fourth pillar of support honors the Foundation for California Community Colleges. It's located across from the new Health Science Building, which will be opening next August. So that's right out behind this building. If you saw all that construction going on, that's where our new Health Science Building is going to be placed. Accepting for the foundation is Dr. Larry Toy, President Emeritus for this organization.
Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here, and it's especially touching to hear the stories of the graduates. This is, again, why we're all here and why this organization and this institution exists. The Foundation for California Community Colleges is the statewide foundation which supports the community colleges as a whole. We're relatively young. This is our 10th year, and I founded as the founding president in January, February of 2008, of 1998. We do a lot of work that some of you may be familiar with and may not know that it's part of the foundation. I'd like to share with you a few things. One of the interesting things we've done is, with the help of the Gates Foundation, we are starting 23 high schools in California. They're called early college high schools, and they're literally high schools that are located on college campuses up and down the state. It's a very exciting program. The high schools have about 400 students each, and they are typically students who are disadvantaged, would not have typically chosen to go to college. And within a 4-year period of time, they not only get a bachelor's degree, a high school diploma, but they get 2 years of college credit. So it's an extremely exciting program that we're involved in. Another one which you may get involved in is that we run the smog referee program for the state. And so if you have a dispute with your local smog check person, you come to one of the colleges, and we're at 35 colleges, and you get the dispute resolved. So that's another program that we have. Another program, and this is the one that hits at the heart of why I'm here today, is our health sciences program. We started with a very interesting grant from the Gordon Betty Moore Foundation, and we have been working with them in creating new opportunities for students in nursing to increase the number of nurses placed in hospitals for their internships during their time when they're studying to be a nurse. And we've created the very best system in the country, and currently we have, I believe, about half of the state of California is using our system, as well as the area around Miami, Florida, and also in Houston. And we're expanding, hopefully, to the rest of the country. And it's a very, very exciting program, and it solves a major roadblock that we have when we're expanding nursing programs. One of the things that the nurses have to do is get this clinical experience. And with the old system, which was basically a Rolodex that you'd call up hospital after hospital, can you take 2 more students? Can you take 1 more student? Instead, this is all done by automation through a very sophisticated computer program. This led us to the reason I'm here is 3 years ago, we received a major contribution from the WellPoint Corporation as part of a settlement that they were doing with the insurance commissioner. And they gave us $15 million. And so we have a $15 million endowment, and we decided to use that $15 million endowment in an interesting way. We decided to fund 7 institutions at $500,000 each to expand their nursing program. And Golden West, and it was not our generosity, it was the hard work that your people did, was one of the 7 winners. It was a competitive work that they did, and we gave you all $500,000 because of the work you all did. And so I'm very pleased to be here. I'm seeing that part of that money is being used in the building of the new nursing health sciences building, and it will increase the number and the quality of nurses in the state of California. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry, for coming, and thank you for sharing part of your $15 million with us. The 5th pillar of support honors our own Golden West College bookstore. This pillar is located right in front of the bookstore, and accepting is our own Steve Ludwig, director of the bookstore.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I feel a little odd here being part of the campus community here rather than somebody from outside, but it really is a pleasure and an honor to be here representing the bookstore. And I have to say, particularly hearing the stories of the 4 alumni was particularly inspiring. It certainly validates the hard work that we do day after day after day. And to hear those kinds of results and see that kind of response is really just very, very exciting and very rewarding. When I was asked to speak briefly about the relationship of the store to the college, there were 2 words that came to mind. One of them, the first one was service. As part of the GWC family, we do serve the college community in many ways. Providing textbooks is, of course, our primary function, but we're also a source of information and support to students, faculty, and the staff. For example, we have been pleased to join with the Foundation and the library to create the STAR textbook reserve program in the library. We contribute merchandise and dollars to many campus organizations and functions, Model United Nations. We fund a study abroad scholarship. We help students find their books. We help them find their classrooms, whatever they need to do. We assist faculty and staff finding other materials they need to do their jobs. And we have a very dedicated staff that performs a lot of behind-the-scenes functions to keep everything functioning. I wasn't looking. Anybody from the bookstore make it here today? You got away? There they are, right there. Hey. Taking the picture earlier today, I felt very guilty because the pillar was right outside the receiving door of the store, and they were all unloading trucks in this heat and smoke, and I'm standing there. Yeah, we want to give our students the best possible experience here, and we really do work at it. The second word that came to mind was change. Change is the tradition here at Golden West College, and the bookstore is certainly not immune to change. As technology leaps ahead, the nature of textbooks and of instruction itself are rapidly evolving in unpredictable ways. Online courses are becoming the norm. Digital textbooks are actually here. Their mass acceptance is right around the corner. The need to reduce textbook prices is driving innovative ideas on downloading chapters, rental programs. This makes for an exciting, challenging time for us, and we really look forward to implementing the changes in products and services that will make Golden West College an even better place to get an education. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. We appreciate your support to college and the services your bookstore provides to our students. The sixth pillar of support honors Chris and Tom Ohlendorf. This pillar is located in the Criminal Justice Training Center area. And Chris is here today. She's one of our employees, has been for years and years. But accepting for Chris today is Ron Lowenberg, the Dean of the Criminal Justice Training Center.
I'm honored to have been asked by Chris to accept this particular recognition. I had the privilege at a recent Academy graduation to make a formal presentation. Chris kind enough to present the center with a check, and we made a big check, and we got plenty of pictures, and it was really a nice ceremony. And Chris didn't want to say anything there either. So, but we love having her up here to help with this presentation. We are very, very privileged to have folks like Chris and Tom. I had the privilege of, in my former life, of working with Tom. Tom had a passion for volunteering in his community. And when I had the privilege of being the police chief here in Huntington Beach, we started a new program called the Retired Citizens Volunteer Program. And Tom was one of the first individuals to step forward and say, I've got something to offer, and he certainly did. He was, of the many, many volunteers we had, I could always trust that every time I ran into Tom, he had a smile on his face, and he was always out in the community doing great things. And often I'd be out at the community speaking at a service club or the American Legion or the Kiwanis, and often I would get comments from individuals that either own businesses in town or spend a lot of time in town, and they would talk about Tom and some of our other volunteers who just took the time to talk to folks and do good things in the community. And so not only did we have the benefit of the Ohlendorf family making resources available for us through scholarships for our young men and women who come through our police academy, we had the benefit of Chris and Tom devoting time and energy through volunteer work to make our community even a better community. And I always used to tell folks, one of the reasons that Huntington Beach is one of America's safest cities is because of people like Chris and Tom. And although Tom is no longer with us, his spirit is with us. And now that we have a larger plaque like this hanging on the wall in the Criminal Justice Training Center area, we obviously will never forget the generosity of Chris and Tom Ohlendorf. So, Chris, thank you very much. I'm going to exercise the right of having the podium for just a moment. I just want to set the record straight. I did nominate Chief Jordan for the award. I did not pay him a cent to say all those nice things about the Agricultural Training Center.
Thank you, Chris and Tom, for the generosity that you've shown, and thank you, Ron, for accepting. And I want to thank all of you for the support that you've given to our college and the generosity that you pour out of your hearts as you continue to support the college year after year. Now I'd like to introduce Janet Houlihan, Vice President of Administrative Services.
This afternoon, we are honored to recognize 13 Golden Society donors. The Golden Society represents gifts from $10,000 to $24,999. If I could ask you, as I present the recipients, if you could hold your applause until they have all been introduced, I'd appreciate it. If you could please stand when your name or organization is called, that would be wonderful. 5 Points Plaza. And I believe we have Merritt Scher and Maureen Sloan James. No? Okay. Lori and Jeff Andrews. Coast Community College District Foundation, Ed Fawcett, the chair. Don McCann. Abby and Ron DeSmet. Dagny Tennyson and Jean Booth. Judith Valles. Dr. Mei-Ying Wu, thank you all very much. Appreciate it. We would also like to thank the recipients who were unable to join us today. Edwards Life Sciences Fund, the Macbeth Foundation, New Vision Federal Credit Union, Pacific Life Foundation, and the Kling Family Foundation. So let's give them a round of applause as well. And I just want to thank all of you for your continuing support of Golden West College. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Now I'd like to ask President Bryant to come up and close our ceremony for us.
And as a college president, you get to officiate a number of events. But I suppose there are 3 events that always tug at my heart and remind me why we are here and what we do. Certainly graduation is that event for which we all cheer and want, and that's the end goal. The night this college awards the scholarships and awards ceremony is that night where you recognize outstanding scholarship and the help to continue students' lives. But today, the Courtyard of Honor is, for me, in many ways, the one that means the most, because it brings those parts together. You get to see what people did who graduated. You get to see what they did with their graduation, because education is always for something. And today we've seen some examples of what it's for. And the other thing we get to do at this event is thank those people who make the night of scholarships and awards possible. Those people who have given of their generosity back to a community college to help students that are like the ones that we have heard from this platform today. This is an event that shows really the best of what community colleges in this state are about. The opportunity it provides students who at one point in their time in their life didn't think they had one, didn't see themselves as college eligible, weren't really interested in that direction, and then a teacher or a counselor or a staff member, when they came here, made a difference in their lives. And so I'd like all the honorees today to stand again one more time. Whether you have a wall or a degree. And on behalf of Golden West College, I'd like to thank each of you for your support and belief in this institution. Thank you very much. Now we do have a reception in the community center, And when you go out this door in that direction, or if you choose to go out this door in that direction, there'll be signs taking you straight across campus to the community center. Thank you very much for coming today.